for a second. How are we doing, everybody? It's your boy Joe. So, that way we can talk. All right, so this is gonna be a quick. All right, so this is gonna be a quick, just a quick stream. I just want to show you guys some of the stuff that I've been working on because I know it's been a while since we've talked, and yeah, I've been working on stuff, just been busy. So again, quick stream, so we gotta get through it fast. Let me drop this down. That out of the way. All right. So. Moved. I guess for the queue, yeah, that takes too long to set up. It's okay. Do like this. Boink. And I move this out of the way. How's that? Boink. I moved one of my other monitors. Yeah, I removed my my small monitor. Just want this out. It's looking good. Things looking good. Okay, so yeah, so so I removed another small monitor, so whatever. Yeah, that's not what I want to talk about. So what we're looking at, guys, what we got going on here. I'll show you this real quick. Grab this. I love my Epic pen. All right, so we got VMware ESXi. Now you guys have seen me play on VMware ESXi and stuff like that before on my, when I'm using my host PC and virtualizing stuff. CML, GNS3. The Linux labs and stuff like that. You guys have seen this time and time. Me do this, over and over again on my host PC, which my host PC doesn't find any. But what I want to play now, guys, is this is on Flame. This is on a Raspberry Pi, guys. So this is on one of these right here, guys. This is on a I almost pulled that out of there. Caveman sometimes, guys. That's the so yeah. So a little this is my spare one, but this is a 4 gig RAM one. I have this running on a 8 gig an 8 gig Pi ESXi. I have it run off an 8 gig Raspberry Pi right now. But so what's is really neat, and I know a couple guys have done this. A couple of people, not guys. I'm just saying, just people in general. I know a couple of people have done this. General booted, have booted a ESXi on a Raspberry Pi. And there's a couple steps involved, and I want to just talk to everybody. Maybe get a suggestion out there if I should make my own video on how to do it, because there are some nuances to it that I actually learned along the way. And I watched a couple of people's videos. There's a couple popular people's videos out there. One video and definitely that definitely helped me out a lot. Get through this process, because there is a little bit to the process of booting up ESXi on a Raspberry Pi. But it's not that complicated. You know what I'm saying? It's not super duper complicated. You just have to make sure you do a couple certain things correctly to make sure that it actually boots up right. And there's no fear of making mistakes. If you make a mistake, you just do it all over again. Trust me, I ended up doing it like 8-9 times. So it's not the end of the world if you make a mistake doing it. All right. So I just maybe get people's suggestions if I should make a video on that or whatnot, because again there are some nuances that I learned, and I'll probably make a video anyways. But what I wanted to show everybody, again, this is running on my Raspberry Pi. My Raspberry Pi Model 4B. Okay, so we have 8 gigs, 7.9. That's the thing you have to enable too. I didn't know that about the Pis, but they enabled. So for those who actually own a 8 gig Pi, if you didn't know it, and you probably do, but it enables you to actually use the 8 gigs. It only tapers it out at I'm not gonna mess with that again. There's something in it that only allows you to use 3, and to actually is it 3 or 2? 2, yeah, whatever. Um, but to boot EXXI, you have to have at least 4 gigs of RAM. So you can do it. You can do it with a 4 gig RAM um, Raspberry Pi, and I was thinking of actually doing it with that one. Um, but yeah, to do it with an 8, you actually have to go into the BIOS and enable it and stuff like that, which is again something you just is actually pretty neat to actually lab up how to boot this up and stuff like that. Because again, it just shows you. It's just again another thing that just to do to just learn. All right. And then what the nuance was that I had to learn was, okay, then once I get EXXI booted up on here, what I kind of wanted to do was I wanted to make this a server, like a home server that I didn't mind having running it at all times, and I can just lab up and just do labs in it like I would do on my other EXXI server. And what's cool too is my other again, this is totally free too, guys. You know what I'm saying? Obviously not the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi, 8 gig data throw back. I think like about $120 if you get the whole. If you get the kit like this with the fan. I suggest getting the fan and stuff like that. You don't really need a big. You don't need a gig. You don't really need a big SD card because EXXI isn't compatible with SD cards. You probably want to maybe spend some money on because I actually have it using for my storage here. I have it using for my storage here, as you can tell, 207 gigs left. I have it actually using a 250 gig SSD hard drive as its storage. And it's working perfectly fine with it. You know what I'm saying? It picked it up right away. And there's a way to trick EXXI to only doing a small install on itself. And I got this thing loaded up right now with, we'll go into my data store. And I got it loaded up with images right now. And then again, this is one thing, and I gotta hurry up too because it's getting late. I gotta get out of here before 1:30 because I gotta get to work tonight. Again, guys, part of doing, I've been kind of wrapped up with doing so many projects and doing schoolwork, working so much that, that's why the stream's been kind of suffering. But I been doing some updating and stuff like that. Just did again, I've been working on projects, haven't been stopping my education. So I'll continue on. But again, I got this thing loaded up with lots and lots of images right now that we can boot up at any time. All different kinds of images, and there's still more that I'm going to be going after. But again, that's one thing that we're gonna have to cover on probably another stream. But right now, I got Ubuntu over here. I got an Ubuntu desktop image. And what you're seeing, actually, what I got pulled up, and the reason why I have an Ubuntu image running on this right now is you're seeing my router. So I am actually running. Let's go over here and go into my V router right here. I'm running a virtual router image. A virtual router image called IP Fire. Okay. And we can actually go over to their little website too, which is pretty neat. And just check it out just real quick, I guess, before I go. So IP Fire right here. Pretty neat. They have an ARM an Arch 64 architecture operating system, which is a router operating system, virtual routing operating system. that you can boot up, you can load up into the EX6i ARM Fling running on your Raspberry Pi and run a virtual router. Because this PC right here, this I'm running this off on its own. This is off on its own network here, guys. And we'll do an IPA. You can see we're using the 10.10 network, which is a totally different network than my actual home network. And I can ping. You know what I'm saying? I can ping Google and everything else. And that's being brought to you by this virtual router image that I'm running on the Raspberry Pi. And what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be trying to do next is I'm going to turn my Raspberry Pi. Not only it's going to be a full blown, it's already like a full blown server because now it's doing switching. So I have it doing switching. Okay. So this vRouter is running on two different networks. It's running on my my VM network, okay, and it's also running on my NAT network. And I had to build this network. So this Raspberry Pi is doing virtual switching. Okay, and I can put a couple more adapters and everything else. It's doing virtual switching. It's also now doing virtual routing. All right, with my friend over here, Mr. IP Fire. All right, and then hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna hook up a access point to it, and I'm gonna try to turn it into a Wi-Fi, an actual Wi-Fi router. So we're gonna turn a Raspberry Pi into a full-blown home server that has Wi-Fi router capabilities of it to internet access, while running multiple VMs. And look at, I'm running two VMs right now. I'm running a virtual router and an Ubuntu image on this Raspberry Pi right now, and I'm only using 3% of its CPUs. Yeah, the memory's about, we're already about halfway out the pod right now. But again, that's probably the Ubuntu image sucking up most of it because of the GUI and whatnot. But again, not that bad. This is a Raspberry Pi, guys. You know what I'm saying? This is a computer that's the size of a deck of cards. You know what I'm saying? Size of a deck of cards. We're doing all this stuff on it, and it's doing it all right now. You know what I'm saying? Live, and it's also, we're picking it up on a web GUI and everything. So this is pretty neat. Yeah, so I just wanted to share this with you guys, and I got another thing coming up that's in the pipeline too, and it's going to be connecting all of these things together. So I also built another. So not only do I have another network being built off on this Raspberry Pi, but I'm also using a couple of TP-Link things because I'm trying to establish something on the cheap to show again how to do some more labbing and stuff like that. So we're going to be doing some labbing with Wi-Fi because that was one thing that I had talked about before that I was struggling to figure out how to lab with, is how to lab with Wi-Fi. Now we're getting into how to lab with Wi-Fi, and I want to show you how to guys to do it on the cheap. So that's just what I got for tonight, guys. I made some updates to check this out, IPFire. So that's www.ipfire.org, guys. Okay, right there. All right. Check it out, guys. We'll log out of this for now, but I did make some updates to the Discord server. I added this cool thingy right here. So if you guys want to get on in the Discord, I also made it a little bit easier to access too, because I kind of figured out that I had it pretty locked down pretty heavily, and that was probably part of the reason why too many people weren't probably hopping on there and interacting and stuff like that. So I kind of made it a little bit easier to hop on now, whatnot. But I added this cool little feature. I've seen a couple servers have this, so I've always wanted to figure out how to do it, and I finally figured out how to do it. So again, if you guys are interested in how to do server stuff like that too, Discord servers, another thing that another thing that I dabble with too, and I try to figure out and have fun with. But yeah, so here's the Raspberry Pi server, guys. So now we have a full blown Raspberry Pi server doing some cool stuff. I'm gonna be doing some more live on that too. Yeah. So guys, thank you for hanging out for the short time that you guys hung out with me, and yeah, we'll catch you guys on. Catch you guys again. Let me come over here. I got so many scenes now, and again, I gotta get over here doing multiple. Where's my webcam? There you are. Hello, me. So, we'll check up again, guys, pretty soon. But for now, I just gotta get off to work. But stay tuned, guys. Again, I've been updating stuff. I haven't forgotten about doing my stream, so I just wanted to just touch base with you guys. Love you guys. You guys have a good night, and I'll touch base with you guys soon.